All right, it's time for the introductions. Don't blow it.
The hardest part.
It's a lot of pressure.
Okay. Well, this is the Pajansky podcast. I think we like that name. I think that's staying in.
Name. I love that name.
I'm Patrick Beissel, and this is Josh James. Josh is, well, why don't you talk a little bit about what you're doing right now in the art and entertainment industry?
What am I doing? This is like the dreaded interview question. Tell me about yourself.
Tell me just a little bit about yourself. Like, what is the main thing you got going on?
The main thing I got going on right now, I'm doing a lot of writing. Mostly, that's what I'm doing. I'm really trying to get something that I'm really like excited about working on, and not just like pushing forward with something that I'm not like. Because I've done projects before where it's like I feel pretty good about the script. It's not my favorite thing. I'm having trouble getting it just like where I want it, and then I move forward with it because I just want to direct something. I'm just trying to like.
Well, let's
get
talk
the
about
script
like
right where I want it, and then
like the project as a whole.
We gotta redo this.
That's good. We can just restart it. I I like the way we're talking though. We're good.
Yeah. I guess here's where I'm at. I've been like trying to like learn filmmaking as much as I can, all the different areas of it, sound, directing, cinematography, all this stuff. But I think acting, my main goal is to become like the best writer I can, write the best script I can possibly write, and then direct it.
So you would say specifically like the film side of all of this, like the industry? Like I'm just more like curious even from the beginning, like what part of like what industry is the industry?
What industry is the industry?
Yeah, like so.
This is a really meta question here. We're going.
Well, no, it's just start
deep
with the
into
beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because look, there's music industry. There's lots of different forms of art industry. Lots of different forms of entertainment industry. You know. So specifically, we're talking like film, acting, all that kind of stuff.
TV, acting.
And then within that, you're kind of pointing towards more writing and directing and film producing is kind of where your head's at.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. I have had the pleasure of working with Josh before, and it's cool, man. I mean, when we've worked on projects in the past, I mean, you have a good head for it. You got a good headspace, you know?
Thanks,
like,
man.
I just felt like, because you helped with Sweetheart quite a lot. You were a great resource to have just hanging around, on top of just being a part of it. But yeah, it's a cool thing that you can almost take on any role in the production situation, and you just you're attentive to it. So
yeah,
it's not a light thing, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
So like, what is like the reason you're like pursuing this? Like what inspired you to want to start creating film, I guess? Like, is this a newer found thing for you, or was this something you like? Were you always doing this? I don't know. Like,
no,
were you like a kid,
I wasn't.
like,
I was
like being like, I want to make a movie someday?
Well, okay,
Like,
so that is a thought I had a lot when I was a kid. I want to do this. I want to make movies. Like, this seems like the most awesome thing anyone can do with their life. But it's also like, I don't know if it's just my personality or growing up around here so far away from the industry in LA where all that shit's happening. I just didn't even think it was like in the realm of possibilities of a job I could be doing. So I kind of like put it on the back burner, went to college, studied math, business, got a job at a company, spent about 10 years working on Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that. And I finally was like, what am I doing with my life? Because I always thought like, okay, I'll reach a certain point in my life and I'll come back to that. And it just wasn't happening. So I was like, I just got to go and fucking do it, you know?
So you always had like something attached to it, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it comes from just like going and seeing movies and then seeing like really movies that really like impact you a lot emotionally, and just like you leave certain movies and you're like, that was like, I just went on this roller coaster ride I wasn't expecting to go on. It was like maybe one of the most awesome experiences of my life. Like that feeling, leaving a movie like that, that's what, like, I want to bring that into the world. I want to have some part in creating something like that.
Well, it's cool, isn't it? It's like one of those
Yeah.
things where, I don't know. It's like, I think as a kid, I used to take it for granted personally about like what can actually like inspire an emotional feeling. I think as an adult, I've come to realize how rare you actually get impacted by something, anything in life,
Yeah.
especially when you're just working all the time on, a lot more, labor intensive or any type of job where you just have to lock in and get the work done. But it's cool when you get to like go watch a movie, or certain songs can do this. I mean, people
100%.
find outlets of what impacts them. I mean, then you can get into painting and all that, and depending who you are. But yeah, do you like when you get to watch a movie and like be devastated?
Yeah.
Like, how often do you ever get devastated by anything in life? Unless obviously, girl troubles or things like that, or to each their own. But
Well, it's
outside
like,
of
it's like
those-
you're getting devastated from a place of safety because it's not actually happening to you. You're feeling those emotions, but at the end of the day, you can go back to your life and not be in that exact situation the character was in, but you can kind of like experience it from a safe place.
man, that's cool. It's
It's
just
fucking awesome. Music's like that too. Like you can feel the thing the person was feeling when they sang that song or wrote that song. Maybe not fully, because you're not actually in it, but I think you get like a really good, pretty close taste of it if it's a good song.
yeah, and if it speaks to you.
Yeah.
There's
yeah.
interesting things about that. It's hard to say because I don't know too much science behind, why people are drawn to certain like movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
I know on the music side a little bit. I remember learning stuff like why certain songs particularly can hit certain people harder. I mean, there's crazy aspects of the fact that we're all vibrations essentially. You know what I mean? We're always, vibrating to a certain frequency.
Yeah.
Just naturally within us.
Really?
Yeah, because everything in life is just frequencies, color, sound. There's great studies about how the main note when tuning a guitar, A in 440, and if you take that note at 440 hertz and you take it to the, 10th to the 23rd power, whatever it is, it literally becomes the color green.
Yeah.
It's the same exact wavelength, but if you just take it to the 23rd power, well, instead of hearing that note, you see the color green.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So there's cool studies like that, and then excuse me. And within us, we all too much coffee.
Have a little more coffee. Wash down your coffee with that.
A little coffee for my coffee. But we naturally vibrate at certain notes, and certain
Yeah.
songs exist in certain frequencies that certain people naturally are on that frequency. So some person could be like, hear a song and be like, oh my God, it makes me feel so good for some reason because it's perfectly aligned with their frequency.
Yeah.
And someone else could be the exact opposite and be like, this song is making me so uncomfortable because it goes against their natural frequency.
Are you talking about like my brain waves? Is that what's vibrating here? So I have a different vibration going than what you're vibrating at.
Potentially.
So I
don't know.
connect differently to. Okay. Is
Like-
this like a scientific, like it's been studied that like we are, like is my skin literally like vibrating at a different frequency from other
I've
people?
heard there people who are very in-depthly study this stuff.
Yeah.
I think mainly I heard this particular conversation at a lecture I heard at the NAMM Music Fest out in Anaheim, California last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean people who are, high-level people studying,
Science people.
science people.
Yeah.
I'm not
Nerds.
I'm not a science person, so I can't really quote and cite who exactly it was, but it's interesting. I don't know if it was a brainwave thing.
I feel like it might be a brainwave thing because I've definitely heard about this before.
But don't you think your body might also be doing the same thing?
Probably.
They're probably both. It's probably all the same. I mean,
Yeah.
why would your
The matter I'm
body
made
and
up
your
with.
soul and your mind are all in balance? They're all.
Okay, but I've always wondered this, like, why is it when you play like a minor chord versus a major chord, like it's almost like inherent. Is it inherent with us from the day we were born that the minor chord makes us feel sort of a sad feeling, where a major chord makes us feel a happy feeling? Like, why is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it because we've seen movies where like during happy times they're playing major chords?
Yeah.
and in sad times we're playing minor chords. Like, is that like a learned thing, or is that just like an inherent thing that we're born with? Isn't it, like,
I think it's more just about the theory. When you get into music theory, a major chord's just a bit fuller. And I'm probably not a. I'm sure if someone sees this who knows more about it than me, they'll be like, "You idiot!" But
it's the danger of doing a podcast.
It is the danger. Everyone's going to be aware of just how dumb I am.
Yeah, how much bullshit we've been spewing all over town.
But a major chord's just a really full, bright sound. You know what I mean? It's just.
But what makes it bright? What makes it full? Well, is it just like it's more like the frequencies are more in line with each other, and then a minor chord's like.
Well,
like something slightly off, and you're like, difference. What the fuck?
So a normal chord's a 1, a 3, and a 5 out of the 12 notes we have, or whatever. Or I guess the 8 or 7 that make up the scale. So all it is the 1, the 3, and the 5, the spacing of the 3, of the middle note, it's just a little bit more one way up, or in the minor, you just drop it down a half step.
Yeah.
And it just creates, when you have the major chords, you get a really full, bright sound. It just comes off that way. It's a very uplifting.
Yeah.
But when you get a minor, you just get that feeling of, it's not like...
It's like dread. It's like ominous. Like, you know something's wrong.
It's not like depressing or sad, but it just is. It's a little bit more depthful. And I'm sure there's a reason it specifically is doing that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I wonder about that. Like, is it nature versus nurture?
Well, my thing, too...
Like, if we were born in, like, a box... and then someone played and lived in a box for 5 years. All we got was just food through a hole in the box, and we survived. And someone played a minor chord. Would that make us feel sad?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think it's what the sound's doing.
Yeah.
Is very ingrained in... Because then you could take notes that are like 7th chords and stuff like that, and minor 7ths, and then what you're doing is you're creating a... like a disruption, like it's like there's a note that's unresolved essentially that wants to resolve. So this chord, which is different from what we're talking about, but in the same exact conversation of just this other type of chord, when you hear it, it makes you feel a little off. You know what I mean? It's just a little like haunting in a way because it's
like you need that next note.
Because within the frequencies, chord. There's this one note that it wants to hit. Where if you play it and then you play the major, which is a common thing to do, you're unresolved. And then whew, you're resolved, and it just you feel that, you know.
Yeah.
So I think within just the major minor, which is a much more, straightforward conversation of it, that it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think you'll always get that brighterness from the major chord, and that little bit more, sadness from the minor chord.
Yeah, because we're unresolved. It's like when I order a package on Amazon and it doesn't come in the 2-day window. I feel something's missing in my life.
So. Back to like the film idea. I don't know how much this could really relate to movies, you know what I mean? Why certain people feel certain ways towards certain movies. I mean, what kind of movies were you into? What's your kind of...
I have a pretty wide range of things I like. Like, I like a lot of different genres. I don't know.
Is there anything you're not into?
Maybe it's like feel-good movies, but it's not feel-good movies. It's just like any type of movie... I think very interesting characters with a very like specific, interesting point of view that I want to like go on a ride with them with. I want to like experience life through their eyes, as opposed to like a character. Like a lot of times, the main character in a movie will be just like the average guy that you can kind of like jump into and see things from their point of view. Mm-hmm. I guess I like movies like that too.
I mean,
do you like thought out thought? Because I'm thinking about the Matrix now. Like Neo is kind of like I love the Matrix. It's like that might be why I want to make movies because of the Matrix when I was growing up.
That's funny. That's a fun one.
Yeah, no, it's so fun.
I mean,
but I think it relies more heavily on the plot as opposed to the character of Neo. Like Neo's kind of just like the standard dude, kind of like almost like just like a blank slate who goes in there and he has to save the world.
Yeah,
and he has to believe in himself, which.
Well, that's kind of cool because that's the heavy. Stories that like rise to the moment, you know. I think that's important. I was just gonna say, because you were making me think of like movies that are very adventurous, like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess when you think about it, I was just mainly picturing the idea of the adventure he has to go on and what he has to overcome. But a big part of it is that he wasn't anything crazy. He was
Yeah,
just
he's
a
an
normal,
underdog.
Yeah, he was just very normal. And the hobbits are, in as a whole, that's like their whole stance of like, they're not these crazy elves, or they're not these wizards, or
Yeah.
these, like other, people that are just more inherently main character vibe.
It's
Which
like
is
the
what's cool.
last being in Middle Earth you would think would save the day is the one that does.
But that's kind of what makes him special.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
I think sometimes if you take on too much of a I'm special point of view,
Yeah,
you end up actually creating a ceiling faster than you would realize.
yeah, yeah. No, that's and that makes him an interesting character because it's like, how is he going to do this? But then there's movies. I don't know. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like the movie that has maybe like one of the few movies in the past like 10 years that is just like completely blew my mind.
Yeah.
And that movie, it's like so, like there's this did you see it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I mean, Tarantino, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. But he like creates these like crazy interesting characters where it's like that movie, a lot of it, it's like, I don't give away the ending, but there's this ominous thing hanging in the background, but the rest of it is just like these two guys hanging out. There's a lot going on emotionally, but it's like mostly about the characters, their friendship, and what the main character is going through in his film career. But it's very like character focused.
It's
very interesting
humanized,
characters
too, now that you say it that way.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that, though, what I love about Tarantino, but I think what some people kind of sometimes don't, is that they're action movies. Even when they're not, they're always still an action movie, you know? Like, I love that. I love the way it's always driving forward.
Yeah.
There's always something happening. It's just so interesting to me.
Yeah, he's very good at like planning an idea that something's going to happen. Like the beginning of Pulp Fiction, it's like, I forget what the guy says. He's like, no, it's not the right time for that now. And then they go start talking about, or he says too risky. It's too risky. It's too risky. And then they have this like normal like couple conversation where he's calling her honey bunny, he's calling her pumpkin. It's like, oh, it's a little nice little couple.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're talking about robbing banks the whole time, or they're about to rob a bank. We don't realize or rob the diner. We don't realize they're about to do that up until the end, and you slowly realize like something else is going on here. So he plants that idea by him saying, "Oh, no, it's too risky." You're like, "What's too risky?" And then he lets that hang there, and then they're having this like seemingly tangential conversation that's interesting in its own right, but there's this thing hanging in the background that keeps you like hooked. So he is good. He's good at like combining character narrative with more like action and plot. Like there's always that action scene.
Now, that style of filmmaking, which is, I mean, Tarantino really does a great job of it, but it is a bit specific. I mean, is that the kind of movies that you're like, or the films and that you're interested in creating? Because again, it's such a wide.
Well, he's like,
I mean, even comparing things to like an Adam Sandler, which is a much more comedy-driven, down-to-earth. I mean, Adam Sandler, he's just so relatable.
Well, his like personality carries to his movies.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, where it's just a totally different style of movie too. And then even, I mean, again, I'm just such a big fan of all of this stuff. But like even something like The Notebook, which is like a much more a love story, a sad story, a beautiful story, but it's completely different from the other things. But
but still good in its own right. But
so like, where do you think your head is as far as like what, as we talk about this? So you're early in on your stages of creating film. I know that you've been acting for quite a while. You haven't really touched much about what you want to do, or if you want to do anything with acting. You're much more speaking towards the creation of film.
Yeah.
But I mean, what have you created so far, I guess, and like, where do you feel like that's kind of in line with what you want to be making? Even just within the idea of these different types of movies, they're very different. You know?
I think the films I've created so far, they're not like quite where I want to be, but they were good steps along the line. Like I've made constant improvements, getting closer to where I want to be. It's I don't know. I just want to like make something that I like can stand back and look at it and be like, that was I want to make like an awesome movie where people are leaving the theaters like I did when I was a kid, and I was like, that was fucking an awesome experience I just had. Like an amazing roller coaster ride. I wasn't expecting it to go in certain directions, but like I feel really good at the end of it. Like I want to make like an exciting movie, and that doesn't mean
So
to
you
say
like
that
a bit
like
of action.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be action though. Like I'm trying to think.
Well, isn't it interesting that I feel like all movies kind of have action because all movies have conflict. Maybe it's not
Yeah.
like an action movie per se.
Yeah,
but-
well, that's like a genre. Like, there's the action genre, which
Yeah.
has the tropes where it's gonna be you're saving the day from the bad guy, and you're doing all these like
Yeah, like, it doesn't
fight
have to be
scenes
John
and-
Wick.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be like, you know.
yeah. So
Watch
action
this
is different
dude.
from the genre of action. So yeah, like I mean, all acting has it's actors acting,
Yeah.
doing actions. So there's definitely I'm an action filmmaker, 100%. I want action in my films. I don't know. I just want to. I'm struggling not to talk about Tarantino right now because I've just been like obsessed with him since I was like a teenager and saw. I'm not even like I didn't see Pulp Fiction till later, or Reservoir Dogs till later in my life, or later in my like teenage years. My introduction to him was Kill Bill. I was like
Okay.
completely blown away by that
Yeah.
movie. Like it was not just the violence, which kind of blew me away. It was the most violent
Yeah,
movie
it's
I'd
fun,
seen,
especially when you're like
'Cause
a
I was
young man.
Yeah, 12,
you know, it's
13 years
like,
old. I was
yeah,
like, what
a
the
young
fuck did I just
boy.
watch? But just
Great.
like the storytelling within that, and just how he he does what he thinks. He's like, what do I want to see? What would be fun to watch? I want to watch this girl, this underdog, go through and destroy all these other deadly assassins. Like that seems like an awesome, with katana swords. Like that seems like an awesome movie to watch. That's where I want to get to, where I'm just like, I write something. It's like a good, solid story, interesting characters, and I'm excited to make it. So I don't know where that's gonna lead me, but I know it's kind of a vague goal, but I wanna just keep writing, and until I come up with something like that where I'm like, this is it. This feels like I want to be like excited to make it. Like really, not that I wasn't excited to make the other things I've made, but I don't know. I feel like the scripts never got to the place that I wanted them to get, and I made them, and
and,
I feel good about them. But
Jesus, this coffee's killing me. Well, that's part of the conversation we're having. Is that like the whole point of this podcast? Just so everyone knows, is that it's about artists who are in the art or entertainment industry and are really making a full professional career out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a hobby. I mean, everything's a hobby, but like it's beyond a hobby. It's pursuing something that is nigh intangible. Like for one, just to comprehend a lot of these things is a lot of work, and then to actually be able to make a career out of it is, I mean, it's like looking up a mountain that just feels like you'll never get to the top of when you really think about the few who have made it to the top and have even just found success.
yeah,
So yeah, it makes sense that as we're speaking about what it's like to be at the early stages of this pursuit, of this career, of this profession, that yeah, you have feelings about like not having fully created what you want to create yet.
Yeah.
But especially in the film world, I think I've just heard so many people that I've respected the work I've seen them do, and the number one note they always say is just keep creating, keep
Yeah.
shooting, keep writing, and
as you
it'll
keep
just
learning, the more you do that,
It just makes
you realize the
sense.
mistakes you're making. You realize what you did was good, what things worked, what things didn't work, and then you can kind of like just funnel yourself in that direction.
So
You get like a better feeling for how to do the job, whatever job you're doing, whether it's acting, directing, art direction.
yeah.
Just the more you do it, the more experience you get, the better you're going to be at it.
Well, there's two things I want to talk about, but I'm going to start with this one
Yeah.
because I think it'll lead into the other one a little cleaner. So again, you do a lot. I've seen you do a lot on set. I've seen you be sound. I've seen you help with the DP. I've seen you, I mean, you just really can jump into a lot of different roles. But even then beyond that, you've talked about what you want to do, which is, writing, directing, producing, filmmaking as a whole. And I also know you as an actor. I know you mainly as an actor from my personal experience with you. So my first thing I would say is that's a lot of hats to take. It's a lot
Yeah.
of hats to put on. And even though it is possible to find success wearing all those hats, it's also very hard to take on so many roles at once. So what would you say your number one role is in this process of those different hats? And I guess you can mix them a little bit because obviously if you were the writer, which is much more of a pre-production role,
Yeah.
you can still go do any of the other things as far as like directing, writing, producing
Yeah.
on
No.
stage.
Well, that's yeah. I'm at where like I want to. That's what I put most of my work into is writing. Especially right now, the past year or so, I've just been like trying to improve my craft, get better at that, and ultimately pivot that into directing. Everything else I've done, it's been like I'm trying to learn about the industry and all the different like all the work it takes to create something that's really really awesome.
No, I mean it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the most powerful things anyone in a position of power, because at the end of the day, if you're directing, you're essentially managing. You're like the
Yeah.
manager of this job. And
Well, you're managing a certain portion of it. You're managing like the artistic vision of it. Whereas like
well, I just mean literally in like responsibilities underneath of you.
Yeah.
Like you have to be the one to let people know what they have to do at given times. It's a very
yeah.
you're
I mean that and the assistant director, which is like from being on some of the sets I've been on, I'll like especially when I was like newer to it, I would look at the assistant director. I'd be like, "That's the director," because they're telling everyone what to do. And then I learned later, I'm like, "That's not the director. The director's off in like Video Village doing something else." So like the assistant director is like the almost like the general like running the show. Like you're doing this, bring this over here, do this, knowing, being like informed from the director what the vision of the thing is and how to make that happen. The assistant director does so much fucking work. Like I don't think you can make something without a good assistant director.
That's cool. I never really thought of it like that. I just
Yeah.
haven't personally spent so much time on of sets of that level yet. But
Yeah.
I guess what I was getting at was more just giving an ode to the idea that when you are a manager or a supervisor or a boss of any industry, you find the most success when you know what it's like to be the worker. Like when you know the work, you know what they're doing, you understand the feeling and just the mentality of that person. And the best bosses know all the roles of all their workers because obviously a thriving business with any substantial size to it has multiple different roles going to create the business. Now, if you're the person in charge of said people, or I shouldn't even say in charge, but as much responsible for those people, you want to be able to know what it's like. So
100%.
I understand so much what you're saying when you talk about like, as interested in writing and directing, you've really gone out of your way to find and understand what it is to be an actor.
Yeah.
Because if you have to direct an actor, it is unfathomably, gonna be one of those days. Resourceful to understand what that actor's feeling and what that actor's going through, and especially if you want to get the best performance out of that actor, which the actor wants to give you the best performance, to know what it's like to what they're going through. I think that's probably where you find it. You collaborate the most efficient way you can.
Yeah. No, that's definitely like I think acting was like the first thing I took a stab into, just in the thought process of like I want to be the best writer I can. I got to learn how these actors look at scripts. And then looking at that from the director's point of view, how are you going to direct someone if you don't know what to tell them? Like and there's directors out there that I guess they don't understand the acting point of view as much as others, but I think the more you understand that point of view, the better more effective you're going to be as a director. Otherwise, like those directors, they tell you, "I want you to look happy right now." You're putting that all on the actor to figure out how to do that. You're not really helping them. You're telling them what the end goal is, and then they're just relying upon themselves to get there. Whereas if you're a director who can be like, "I want you to think about the character from this point of view. They're going through this thing in their life." You can help them get to where they need to be in a more natural way.
Yeah, and I think some directors are capable of doing that. Even just seen, some lower level indie films, micro budget kind of stuff, where I watched the film and I was like, wow, that was really, really good.
Yeah.
I was like, quite surprised. Just not, I always go into everything with not really expecting too much because I love to be surprised when I really get hit by something.
Yeah.
And find out, they do a nice little questionnaire afterwards that the director is just like a director who only directs from school, fresh out of school or still in school. And I'm like, wow, how did they collaborate so cleanly to get this performance out of all sides of it? But I've also known some of the actors, and I think sometimes if the director is just a really, just a really good personality, if they just, maybe they don't know what the actor has going on, but if they're just really supportive and open to letting that actor go through it,
Yeah.
because, man, another one of those things people talk about when, the perfect storm of what makes a great film. Because that's the thing, right? You can we've seen it through all of what Hollywood does and everything. And it doesn't matter how much money you throw at a film. It doesn't matter what actors and directors you throw at a film, per se. It doesn't mean a great film's going to come out of it.
Right. But they can fuck it up a million ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an impossible thing to really, get a hold of and create. But I feel like whenever I hear people talk about, a great film that they made, like a known great film, and then when you hear people afterwards being interviewed or on podcasts or such talk about it, one of the major things they say is like the collaboration effort from every side, because there's a lot of moving pieces. You know what I mean? Like your director, your DP, your sound,
Oh yeah,
all
DP's
of your.
huge.
I mean, and that's not even including the actors and the producers, and then all the smaller guys running around, all your gaffers just doing all the support. Like there's so much happening, and yeah, they really do seem to say like the collaboration effort was just so together and wholesome and supportive. And it's a big piece of it, man.
Yeah. No, just like picking your team, picking the right actors for the right parts, picking the good people who like good cinematographers who can improve your vision in ways that you weren't even able to think of by certain shots they're able to get. Like that's freaking huge. Yeah.
Okay, so now with the idea of that being what you're doing and what you want to be doing, and again, you have been creating some films. I've known some of them. I've even helped out on some of them. It's always a pleasure. At this stage of your career, which is, it's almost like, I like to think about this sometimes as like reaching the starting line,
Yeah.
because it takes a lot of work to get to the point where you're really able to do the work you want to be doing. But you're kind of getting, or at that point, I think I would say, would you agree that you're now like really able to do the work you want to be doing? Because I'm really curious about what challenges you're finding at these beginning stages, as you're here, you're doing it, you're pursuing it. Like what's, because that's what this is all about, right? That's what this podcast is kind of about is, if you're pursuing this type of career, obviously we're talking film, we're talking acting, but this applies to music, this applies to painting, this applies to anywhere in the art world, when you want to pursue this type of career in these types of industries. And it can just feel so, what's the word, like daunting in the beginning, because you just, I don't know, you feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like you feel like an idiot.
I feel like an idiot all the
Especially
time.
when you don't have success yet. And you just like, and you're trying to form opinions, and not form opinions, but you're almost scared to express opinions because.
Yeah, you're afraid of some guy who's been in the business for 10 years being like, that's fucking stupid. Where the hell did you come up with that? And then you got to explain yourself, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a scary time.
Yeah.
It's a scary time when you're in the earlier stages of your career in this industry, and in any industry, but like, in this industry where status and success and proof of just really is such a powerful meter.
Yeah.
Talking about people who don't quite have that meter to stand on, to be like, oh, look at this resume of, haha, I did this. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know, what's it like right now? What's
I think of it in terms of the power is in our hands as much as it's been like we've had the most power in any time in history. The most power we've ever had is right now because no one's stopping us from making a film and throwing it on YouTube and people going, that was fucking awesome. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it. That's the point of view I'm coming at it from. Where that's why I start with script. That's where all my efforts are right now. I'm trying to get better and better writing scripts. And then once I have that script, it may come, it may never come. That's why I feel like I've kind of been struggling with that the past year or so. Because I don't feel like I've written anything that I liked as much as like the last film I directed. I have a couple. I have this like pilot episode of this show I've been working on that I really feel like I got the full story. I like the characters. I like the world I've built. And that feels like it's coming together now. But it's a struggle because sometimes like I'll write like freaking 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and I'll just like feel like stuck. Like I'll just feel like, and then I'll feel like I just wasted my day, which isn't necessarily true because you have all these ideas turning over in your head. But yeah, I think that's the thing I'm struggling with right now is coming up with something I'm like excited about making, and I'm like, this is the thing I want to work on for the next couple months.
I mean, that feels like a lot of great writers would say the very same thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's a tough one. Okay, so then like, what about beyond that? So you talk about this one script you have kind of that you're interested in. It's a series pilot. Now, because you're also very much the filmmaker yourself too, what would that look like for you to make it happen? Like to actually get the next role. So let's say the script is to a point that you like it, you're ready to share it. I mean,
that's the thing, which I struggle with, like sending it out to people and getting their opinion. So that's like, I want to get this thing, which I think I'm close to a place where I really like it, and then I want to send it to people and get their opinion on it and see what they think. I don't want to just like I want to feel like I want to make something that, getting back to what you were talking about with like having like great people on board, I want to like show this to people and be like, have them be excited about making it, like excited as I am to make it. So I think that would be the next step. Get something that I like, show it to people, see what they think, get their feedback, and then either go back to the drawing board or move forward with the project and then start just going to pre-production with it.
Yeah. Well, let's entertain that then. So if you moved into pre-production, you have some people on board. Now I would say, just because you're a friendly guy, I feel like, not that you like networks per se, I don't want to say it like that, but you've just made some great connections from what I've seen as far as just getting along with people. So, you know, another big part of the early stages of filmmaking is resources, whether it be money, people, like, you know, it's not easy when you don't have a studio backing you.
Yeah.
So if you were to move forward with pre-production, would you say you could probably pull in people on the project pretty easily just from people you've come to know and resources you've
I think so.
made friends with, I would say?
Yeah. The other thing I've like had in mind for more recently is trying to write something that's not like has like these crazy action sces where it's like, because I've written stuff like that before where I'm like, this is freaking awesome, and I'm like, well,
go with
can't
some
make
M80s
it,
and make a nice little
yeah. You have to sell it to a major studio in order to get it made. But that's just like, again, I'm going to talk about Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs. He made this freaking incredible film where it's about a bank robbery. You don't ever see the bank robbery. But we see the more interesting part, which is them dealing with the aftermath of a failed bank robbery. Yeah. But that was all filmed. He had a diner, he had a couple exterior shots, and then a warehouse. Like, what's stopping us from making something like that, you know? That's what we should be doing. Let's freaking write something together.
Look, I love it. I love writing, and I would love to work with you more in the future.
Yeah. Because that's what he did, too. He had his writing partner, Roger Avery.
Yeah.
And they wrote, I don't know if he wrote Reservoir Dogs with him, but I'm pretty sure he wrote Pulp Fiction with Tarantino. But yeah.
Well, it's important in the beginning. I mean, if you're just going to talk about Tarantino, I mean, True Romance is
Yeah,
Fantastic.
True Romance.
Oh my god, man.
Reservoir Dogs. Pulp Fiction.
So then, like, okay, but then there is, to an extent.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about Tarantino so much too. I just,
No,
I got the. They just came out with this book, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's like this huge freaking book about the making of the whole movie. I've been reading that since I got that for Christmas, so it's like all the stuff is like right on the tip of my head right now.
No, don't get me wrong. I could sit here and just talk about Tarantino. I think he's a fantastic filmmaker, and I truly love a lot of the things he's created. But really, Ned, what are we doing over there? Cats, man, they come in at the best time.
Cats.
What the hell was I just saying?
We were talking about Tarantino, Reservoir Dogs, filming something.
Oh yeah,
like,
I was just in the idea, because again, a lot of this is like the struggles of like these early stages, you know. And so, what about like budget? Like, if you were to try to get a budget, I mean, you know, it's one thing to entertain the idea of, you know, saving money, working hard at what you're doing with your films, and if you can make any money there, but also at what you're doing on side work. It's one thing to be like, I'm going to fund this film myself. You know what I mean? But that's also like a very hard way to approach it, because it's like for some people that's super easy. They were just have a ton of money, or they from family and friends, or they just have a great job. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I don't want to so much entertain the idea of, you know, putting up your own budget. But like, say you weren't putting up your own budget, you know, like, what's that conversation look like? Would you reach out to people? Would you reach out to companies? Have you ever done that? Because that's a really scary thing. Like the idea of a budget, because, I mean, you know, you could talk about making a film with a budget of like $1,000, and that's like literally nothing when it comes to the idea of making a film. And yet at the same time, $1,000 is $1,000. Like, you know, who just, you know, it's not common, especially in this stage of artist career, to have $1,000 laying around, let alone $5,000, let alone $10,000, let alone $30,000. Like, $30,000 is still like nothing to make a film if you actually want to bring in certain levels of crew, certain levels of equipment, and even just like, you know, pay your people. Like, I love when people are so willing to just come and work and they're excited about it and they don't ask for anything. Like, that's so important in the early stages of any of this. But
yeah, you reach a point where it's like,
I want to pay my people. I want to be able to.
And you want people to be you want people to be happy, so they're
and
happy
excited.
Working
It's exciting when you get money. Like, I'll say, as a, you know, I've done with my music. Like, when I get paid, or I mean, I've been doing it for a little while now. But when I first started getting paid for some of my gigs, like wow, it makes you feel like you're. I don't know. It just makes you feel good. Not that the money matters, but just the fact that it almost justifies what you're doing in a way where it feels like you're really doing it.
No, 100%. That's where I want to be. I think that gets back to Ned.
Why was that so aggressive?
No, I think that gets back to like
this is the troublemaker. You're creating trouble.
Ned, he was being so good. He was.
You know what it was?
Spot up here.
He found his catnip. That's what was going on. He was trying to open up his own bag of catnip. Ned, you gotta stop getting so high. So yeah, just.
I
that's
think,
what we were talking about.
That gets back to like having me sending out whatever script I want to work on to other people and getting their opinion and getting them excited about it. Because if you talk to the right people, there's people out there who want to make movies who are willing to give you money to do it if you have a project that they'd be excited about. Yeah. Michael was just talking about this at the Q&A for Tino, which that was like, I was blown away by that movie. What they created with the budget they had, that's freaking, that looks like a professional studio film that they made. And they were talking about how one of the hurdles they had to get over was just going out and asking people for money. And they were like surprised the more they asked how willing people were. Like, they went to frickin' Santucci's funding them with pizza just because they liked the sound of the project and wanted to help out completely for free. Yeah. And that's like a small compared to what you need to make a film. But there's
And that's connections, though. I mean, look at when I did Sweetheart. Like, a lot of the connections I had were just people I knew, and that comes down to making relations, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it pays to be an outgoing social person because
Yeah.
you end up, you know, just being able to ask somebody for a little help. And it's just so powerful that people would love to help,
Yeah.
you know? Because imagine if you just had, like, a business and someone was like, I love your business and I love the way it looks and I would love to be able to potentially use it for this little project I'm making. Like, I mean, some people might hit you with, oh, what's in it for me? But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people really are just like, I love what you're doing. Like, sure, go right ahead, man. You know,
Yeah.
here's some pizza. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, if they're in the position to do it, like if they're not struggling for every last dime, then like people are looking for stuff to do with their money if they have it.
No, I mean, it's a powerful part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's overlooked.
Yeah.
I think it's. I think
I
it's a very
overlook it too.
overlooked
Like
thing.
I should be better at that. Because I'm perfectly happy going into my little hole of a room and just writing all day and just. So I'm trying to break out of that myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Between
Hey,
the
okay.
cat and between the food,
It's a disaster of a podcast.
we're falling apart. We're falling apart.
What else can we talk about? Let's talk about you. What are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? You making Sweetheart too? I was blown away by Sweetheart, by the way.
Ah, thank
Like
you.
I did not expect. It was like very cinematic, great acting. You
I
looked
think-
great. The
Nah,
hair looked amazing.
I really give, my dad's been refining that craft of his. I mean, when he came in and directed that, he was a force to be reckoned with, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
As much as I love Sweetheart, it's really hard for me to take too much credit for the group effort that was, you know? And you were a big part of that, too. I mean, you came in and you were just so helpful.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, your dad killed it on that. He was just like I could like tell like that was like he was like he had control of like what was going on and his vision was like he was working toward like he had a vision. Sometimes you get on these sets and it's like I don't even know. Like, do we have a vision here, guys?
well, I think there's a passion, you know?
Yeah.
I think you're passionate about not even what you're creating, but about creating, you know? It can help drive that. Yeah, on my personal side, I'm just kind of moving forward, I think, in my music and my acting. I'd like to start getting some more original music actually out, you know? I think I play so often, I forget just how little of it is actually available to be, I don't know, taken in or seen or heard. So I want to be more present online and places where people could actually listen to if they would like. And yeah, well, in the acting, I do like creating stuff. I want to create stuff, but I think I'm looking to pursue like acting. You know,
Yeah.
find a place where I can, you know, start auditioning more, getting involved in people's projects. I love filmmaking, but it's a lot. Like I talked about when you talk about what you're doing, all those hats you have to put on.
Yeah.
And either you have to put on a lot of hats or you have to bring in people to put on those hats.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's an intimate process. It's not easy to find these people or even just feel secure within it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just moving forward with my own personal stuff. I'm just trying to be more present, I guess. It's always,
We should write something.
I would love to write
Write a
something.
movie, and then we'll have your face in it.
It's gonna be, the whole movie's gonna be right here. Really
Yeah.
make sure. No, I mean, I just love it. I love this whole industry. I
Yeah.
love this whole world of creation, of art, of entertainment. I mean, I'll say from a live music perspective, when I get to see, like what you talked about, like when you get to watch a movie and then feel something from it, you know, when I get to play a song and people actually have like and even if it's not my original, like even just like playing a cover sometimes, but like a cover that people love or makes them feel a type of way. It's a great feeling when you just get to give somebody that. You know,
Yeah.
I don't. It's truly a luxury. It's truly a blessed thing to be able to do.
And you write your own songs?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. See, that's what I want. I want like, I want to look back on something and be like that, like I wrote that, and I feel good about that, you know? Which I have that to a degree with some of the stuff I wrote, but I just
Well,
want
it
to get
gets
better and better at that. Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I've been
Yeah.
writing songs since I was young, and I find them sometimes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm like, oh no, 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 no. What in the hell was that? Because it's like your mind and your perspective, you know. But it really just comes from writing and doing more, you know.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why it's so important to keep doing the way people
Yeah.
talk about this, because it's, you know, it's all about the doing and the writing that you grow from it, you know. Like I only am happy with the songs that I am writing now compared to what I once upon a time was writing, not in Hollywood, but
In Philadelphia.
in Conshohocken. Because I'm just able to actually reveal more. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting better at saying what I want to say.
Yeah.
know,
You
'cause
think some of that's from Playhouse?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I will say these acting classes and that environment and that community, I mean, it just really teaches you to really just lighten up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
for so long, creating something with such a insecurity of control that you just, I mean, you have such a better, like, hand with a loose grip. You really do. And
Yeah.
there's nothing makes you relax like getting on stage and making a fool of yourself every single week for years.
It's not every single week.
You're right. It's twice a week. But it's just helping me relax. You can only
Yeah.
really create from a place of relaxation.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just talking to my friends about this, and like the athletic side of things. You know, we were watching hockey. You know, the Flyers were doing good, all that stuff. You know, go Birds, go Philly. But just watching the hockey game, and it's like when you really watch a hockey player, because it's all, even though it's athletic and physical in a sport, it's still creation, it's still art in so many different ways, because they're doing something and they're trying to make magic. And
Yeah.
when you see
They have to be
someone-
relaxed enough to create that magic in
Well,
the
they
moment. They have to
only
like
do it.
visualize, like I see the shot here, I got this, like feel it, as opposed to like
yeah,
coming from a place of like we're fucking losing this game, like all I can do is like try and get the puck back from this guy. Like that's a whole different mindset that they're in. That
and then you start getting panicky, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden you start playing like shit, and it's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? And anything can happen, and you can get lucky, and yeah, sure, if it's a scrum in the corner and you're against the boards, you know, get in there and dig it out. But when you really see someone do something, especially when it comes to goal scoring, it is, yeah, it's a little piece of art. But they have to be relaxed,
yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. Because if you're not relaxed, your mind's not open for thoughts to happen. You're just like kind of in like a panic mode, like where you're just trying. It's like you're playing defense almost, like trying to like prevent things from happening, as opposed to like making what you want to happen, and like letting those, just relaxing and letting ideas come to your mind, letting thoughts happen. But yeah, your mind can get closed off from that, and then it's just like I'm not even thinking anything.
It happens like that, and then once you're in that state, it's so hard to come out of.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. It's impossible.
It's why, and you never.
And you go home and you're like, why did I say that? Why did I? Why
And
did
it's
I, why
fine.
wasn't
Nobody's
I?
ever perfect all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why you do it so often. You know, you're not trying to become perfect. I can't imagine any actor at the highest level is ever always perfect, whether actor, music. It's all.
No, I think that stuff. It's like
But it's percentages. You know, it's like how much of the time can you be doing the good?
be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that is perfection. If you're like 100% in your character all the time. That's how to look at perfection as an actor. Although, but then you could do like how much work did you put into your character? How much research did you do? That, I mean, that's like infinite. Like how long could you take researching the character your entire life? Like how far you're going to go down that hole. That's what the idea of perfection. Like I look at some movies where I'm like, that's a perfect movie, but that's like not the way they were thinking when they created it. You know, they're not like trying to achieve perfection. They're trying to like, maybe they are trying to achieve perfection, but it's just like perfect. Like what is perfection?
A lot of people try
it's
to
like,
achieve perfection.
Yeah.
I will say this though. You said something interesting there. That is like, how much work did I do? Look, I believe if you're in this industry, whether it's music, film, painting, ceramics, whatever it is, and you really, especially if it's anything collaborative, I think the work is a given. If I ever have to question if someone did the work,
Yeah.
then they're just not even in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think you can even be in the conversation without doing the work. You know, I
Yeah.
remember even hearing someone talk about his name is escaping me, but it's a family friend who's a high-level musician in New York. Played with very big names and such, and you know, he just talked about like when someone comes in to be a studio musician, whether they're auditioning to work at the studio or for a band or whatever it is, like they're not the people like interviewing for the audition. They're not like thinking, can this person play the music? If you're, and this is exactly what he said. He's like, if you show up for this audition, you better damn be able to play the music. That is a given. That if that was never even a thought of whether or not you could perform it. What you're auditioning for is, are you easy to get along with?
Oh yeah.
What's your personality like? Like, do you work well together? Do we just mesh? Because that's a big thing. It's one of the saddest things too. And you know, you could even speak more of this in like a romantic relationship way. Like, you know, when you meet a girl and you're just both great people and you just don't mesh, you know, like that sucks. It's like the worst thing. It's not like anything bad happened or someone's bad. It's just like you're just not the right person for each other, and you know, and that's just a relationship, and that applies to everything. That can apply to musicians, you know, that can apply to actors, directors, and it's why it's so important to remember that it's not personal to a degree.
Yeah, right.
You know, even in the romantic relationship, when things are the most personal they'll probably ever be, when it comes to certain like understandings of like, it's just not it. Like you know, like that's a big piece of it. So yeah, back to the main point.
Like
of
this is a great cat. It's just not the right time to have a great cat on my lap right now.
Yeah, but the camera loves
It's
him.
still a great cat, though.
The camera loves you, Ned. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're a pain, but you're a beautiful pain, a loving pain.
Uh-oh.
A growing pain, apparently. But yeah, the work. I kind of comes back to what I was saying though, is, and like what you were saying is, you always got to be doing the work.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should ever feel insecure about not having done enough work, because you know whether or not you did the work.
Yeah, it's a feeling. Like it's a knowing.
You
feel
either
like I got this
did
character.
the work or you didn't do the work.
Yeah.
And look, I don't know. Maybe if you're doing tons of work and you're still not getting it, then something else is revealed there.
Yeah.
But it's not the work.
No.
You know,
yeah.
if you do the work, you do the work.
I guess I was trying to get at what is perfection in art? Like the Mona Lisa. Why is that a perfect painting? And is it like when the person, who was it, Michelangelo? I can't even remember the guy's name. When he was painting the Mona Lisa, is he going, this is like the perfect brushstroke?
Da Vinci, right?
Da Vinci?
I don't know. Now, now you're throwing me
Cut
all
this.
off. Yeah, make fun of us. Go ahead. We're working it out. It's DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio. But like, yeah, I don't know. Because I'm like...
Perfection's always fleeting, though. It's a fleeting feeling.
It's like a feeling
God
you have
forbid you
after
get it
you
for a
like
moment,
look
it's
at a
already
piece of
gone.
artwork and you're like, that's fucking perfect. But like, say, frickin' War and Peace. You change one word in War and Peace. is that not a great novel anymore because you changed the word about to something else? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, what is perfection? Change one word, one line of dialogue in Death of a Salesman. All of a sudden, that's not a great play anymore. Obviously not, but like, there's no perfect. Like, perfect would be each and every word needs to be here. Because Tony talks about that a lot. He's like, this is like every single word in this play is there for a reason, which to a degree is true. But like, if I change one line, is it still not as good of a play?
See, I like what you said there because I think the answer isn't perfection is all the perfect words in the perfect places. Perfection is the reason.
The
Now,
reason they're saying the lines.
the reason that word and that line and that section exists.
Yeah.
Be it a play, be it a painting with a stroke, be it music with a note. You know, it's not about, in my opinion, it's not about the exact structure of it. It's the reason and the feeling of that, what it's portraying. You know, what's it saying? You know, like, you got to be saying something. You got to be doing something. That's what the point of it all is. So I think there's a lot of different ways to say something for the same reason. And, you know, that's kind of what makes this journey particularly scary, is that it's not about the perfect line. It's about how you say it, how you play that note. It's just like the individual.
Like how real you make it.
Yeah, like everyone is doing the same thing, so what's the difference? It's them. And that's your craft at the end of the day, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
We really are bringing this to an end on a very philosophical, intangible,
I knew this was
unanswerable.
I didn't want to go here. I didn't want to get to this point.
No, it's good though, because these are the conversations. I love these conversations.
I'm just glad we didn't talk about
having these types of conversations, but it's tough because, you know, the best part about them is the worst part about them. There's not an answer. It's just there's a conversation. You know, and it's exciting, but it's tough because this is what they mean when they say it takes 20 years to master this type of craft of acting, or a lot of these different things. The Beatles talk about how many hours, you know, to be a master of what you do. I mean, people talk about with guitar and such about what it takes to have fretboard freedom, you know what I mean? When you can really just do whatever you want, like, and it kind of all comes back to just the work. You got to keep doing it, and you'll just keep growing at it, and you'll get so much better at expression and portrayal and vulnerability.
Yeah.
So to bring this kind of to a close here, because we are kind of running towards, I think, an hour right now. What are you working on just right now? I know we talked a little bit about you have, you know,
Yeah, I've got a couple different things I'm writing right now.
pilot.
It's mostly writing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a point where I have like a feature-length script that I really like, that I really want to make. I'm trying to make Reservoir Dogs, my Reservoir Dogs, basically.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know if, what do you think about that? Is that like, do you think I'm like insane for that? Like, that's my goal? Like,
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
I think you're insane if you weren't making that your goal.
yeah.
If there's one thing I've seen and just observed, and it's a conversation again of where greatness comes from, but there's something to it when people are surrounded by people operating at the highest levels. Like, why are all the Mannings amazing football players? Now, obviously, I'm sure there is some genetics there, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think when you're
Like they make each other better.
yeah, when you grow up, especially at a young age when you're so impressionable, but when you surround yourself and you perceive and you work always at the highest level of the thing, like, yeah, you probably aren't going to get there.
Yeah.
At least not right away.
Yeah.
But you're going to be working at such a higher frequency and efficiency than someone who's just like, I'm going to make a stupid little thing.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You made a stupid little thing. And that's fine. Like, I love when anyone wants to do anything. I love just that whole mentality. But there's something to pursuing the highest level. Because, yeah, you probably won't reach it, but you're trying to comprehend
Yeah,
it.
you're aiming high, so that you're like forcing yourself to get better at what you're doing, and then what you're going to end up making is probably not where you want to be, but it's going to be higher, at a higher level than where you would be if you didn't aim that high.
Well, and just the rate of growth,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big believer in, I've just always preferred to be the smallest fish in the biggest ocean, you know, compared to being the biggest fish in the smallest puddle. Like, you know, I don't want to be living in this little pond where I feel...
You got to move to LA.
Well,
maybe not anymore. I don't
yeah,
know. That's the other
that's
thing
a weird
I didn't want to get
conversation.
into is AI and just like
Well,
how
and just
LA's
the market.
I guess change. Yeah,
The market's crazy right now. I
Yeah.
mean, there's lots of great networking in LA, 100%. We're also conveniently close to New York. That's also a
Yeah.
good resource. But the market and the landscape is changing. I mean, just the tax breaks certain states are offering. I mean, Jersey, they just, you know, Netflix is a hot topic right now, but, you know,
they're making a big
billion-dollar
studio, in
studio
Jersey.
essentially
Yeah.
up in North Jersey. Like,
Yeah.
it's a landscape is 100% changing. So it's just an interesting time, interesting place.
Where do you think we're going to be with AI? Here's what I think. I think they're still going to need actors, but they're not going to need like. I think all the money that they're sending towards like, we got to go get this shot in this location. I think that's all going to disappear, which scares the shit out of me because, I mean, it opens up the world for more people to create different genres of film with bigger like set pieces, but it's also kind of depressing because it's like there's something cool about going to a place and like getting a shot in the camera and you're like, we just actually did that, like we acted it in the real world. And I don't know, I get excited by that stuff and then
gone,
also
though.
like depressed.
That's been gone for many years.
CGI.
I mean, there's God, fantastic actor, and his name's escaping me. Who plays Gandalf in Lord of the Rings? Do you know?
Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. He talked about this one time where he's doing one of the great scenes in it, and the whole thing is just him and a green screen.
Yeah, and then they put a huge army in behind him.
And he just didn't love that. He's like, this doesn't even feel like acting. But but it wasn't. He did a great performance. I mean, he's an amazing actor. I think that already existed. I'm personally okay with AI in my stance where it's just a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool. AI is a tool, and it's a really efficient tool. But I don't think it can replace creation.
Yeah.
Not for us, because why do humans create? We create to relate, you know, and a machine can't relate in creation to something that it is not. Like AI is not human. They are separate. Now there are similarities.
They can't have like the
parallels.
emotions and feelings that leads to something new. They can just imitate things that have been done before, which to a degree humans do. They do imitate, but they also like bring themselves to that and change it slightly.
But that's what
AI
makes
is
it
just copying.
interesting. You know, I mean, look, the formula's already figured out. AI is just able to use the perfect formula right away because it can pull from all those crazy resources. But I'll talk about the music world. Like, I mean, they've had the formula. I mean, if you look at all the big pop, top music songs and all that stuff, I mean, there is a formula there that is very black and white. I mean, people and producers at the highest level could, you know, smart people than me, could really sit here and just be like, this is the formula that works all the time.
Right.
But people know the formula is what I'm saying, and yet knowing the formula, people use it all the time, and nothing comes of it.
Right.
Just knowing the formula is not enough.
Yeah, that's craft.
To be
they're
thing.
using craft, but then
so
they're
why
not
does
putting themselves
sometimes
into
it
it.
work and sometimes it doesn't? Because it's not about the formula. The formula is a tool. AI is a tool, and I think it's a very a scary, powerful tool. But yeah, I don't think it can replace. You know, I don't think you could ever truly replace. I think the more it becomes, the more people will search for the opposite. I mean, one of the things that's so annoying to me is not that I'm a big social media guy, but man, I see some videos sometimes and, you know, you can tell what's AI and you can tell what's not AI. But now what's happening...
It's getting less and less, you can tell.
Yeah, but
they're getting closer and closer.
Well, part of the problem is what I'm seeing, I don't know if AI is doing this or if people are doing this, but they're taking normal videos, like a clip from like a Sopranos episode,
Yeah, and changing it.
and they're making it feel AI-esque to make you not notice the AI as much. I mean, this is just what this isn't like fact,
like
but this is
that.
something
I
I've
hate
just
that.
noticed. I'm like, why does this video of this scene that I know what this scene is now feels like what gives me a red flag or a trigger for what I know to be an AI thing? Because
Yeah.
it feels like they're dumbing it down. That's
Yeah.
kind of, this is what I mean when I'm
But
saying.
I don't like that. But some
don't
people don't
either.
care. Like,
But I think
why are all these
true
like?
art-
Why is the Fast and Furious franchise doing so well? Because it's not good storytelling. They totally destroyed that franchise after like the
Yeah, but it's
second or
interesting.
third
You
one.
can't deny fun. You can't deny interesting. You
they-
can't deny fun. I hate when
they-
people
the
get all
first-
high and mighty about, oh, this isn't artsy enough. But I'm like, okay,
I-
did you enjoy it?
I agree with that.
Like,
but
you're allowed to just enjoy something. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world.
I'm totally with that. But they can't do that to Fast and the Furious because that was already a good franchise and it was a different thing than what they turned it into. They turned it into.
I have not
Ridiculous.
watched any recent ones, just so you know. I have no
Okay.
idea where.
But the first
what-
movie,
what is being
the
put
first movie was the story of Point Break done with cars, and it had like a lot of emotion to it and a lot of like just human interaction, connecting. Their drag racing, not doing crazy jumping their cars from building to building, which is just like it's not even in the realm of possibility. Like the first movies, it was like this is believable. They're drag racing, they're crashing their cars. The fourth, fifth, sixth movie, they're dragging bank vaults through a city, probably killing thousands of people.
Yeah, but that's the very thing.
Like they changed the franchise from. I'm all right with like a crazy frickin' John Wick, whatever, fun thing, as long as that's what it is. They totally took that franchise and destroyed it and turned it into something it wasn't.
Yeah, but see,
That's my problem.
You're talking about the very
Same
thing.
with Die
though.
Hard.
Because it's a turnoff. It's a turnoff when you feel these things feeling like they're full of shit in a sense. You know, it's
Yeah.
you know, like that's a
But
big.
it's they're selling it, you know.
Yeah, but selling is just selling. You know, like if your goal is just to make money, you can make money. There's lots of ways to make money at the end of the day. And maybe
Yeah.
that sounds, I don't know, like condescending, but you know, if you're willing to really not care about the product you're creating and how it affects the people taking it in, there is a ton of scummy ways to make money. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is even that scummy, but I'm just saying in that vein of thought, you know, if you're just trying to sell and make money, there's ways to do it. It's a big problem I think Hollywood is having right now, is that the idea of making money is just the sole driving force, and so much is being sacrificed for it.
Yeah, they're not willing to take a risk on like a
That's when
project
you'll
that
get
sounds
the
cool.
other
but-
side of it. You know, the more you become that, the
Yeah.
more people start looking for the other thing. So if you
Yeah.
create a great movie that is great, I think you really will make people
Yeah,
appreciate it.
you gotta
And
just.
maybe you won't make billions of dollars, but again, if your whole goal was
If it
only
actually
just
is
to
good,
make-
then you're gonna. Yeah, people. If you make people feel something, then they'll respond to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool, interesting. It's a weird world. We're in a weird landscape we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place to close it. It feels like it was a successful episode. This
Yeah.
is episode 1.
I
This is
felt-
the first podcast I've ever done.
I've done. This might be my third podcast.
Nice.
Well. Yeah. I'd say so. I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming and helping out. Josh also helped
Yeah.
do a lot of the sound and setup for all of this, so he really helped make.
Yeah, I was
this all,
distracted by that, so don't judge my performance because I had a lot going on in my brain.
You got a lot of hats you wear, man.
Yeah.
You take one off, you put the next one on.
I gotta take off all these hats. Too many hats.
Well, awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Goodbye, everybody.